So friends, let's start the summary, which is called Self-Discipline Mindset: Why Self-Discipline is Lagging in Most and How to Unleash It Now, written by Curtis Leone. And if we talk about this summary, then self-discipline is very difficult. Because we are dealing with the enemy within us, which is ourselves. Our mind does not want to get out of its comfort zone, and our body remembers the old habits. Therefore, it always prevents us from changing ourselves and making ourselves better. Anyway, it is very difficult to change, but this summary will help you here. When you finish this summary, whatever you want to achieve in life, you will have the confidence or discipline to go after it. When you finish this summary, whatever you want to achieve in life, you will have the confidence or discipline to achieve it. This summary is a very great guide about self-discipline. It is all about developing discipline and getting rid of the things that try to bring you down. So let's start this journey, and first of all find out your why. To understand this, let's listen to this story. There was a guy named S. He is a teenager, who had a dream of becoming a professional basketball player. He used to practice day and night without getting tired. He had given up all the bad habits like alcohol and cigarettes and focused only on training. He was determined to become something, and he wanted to get rid of the image of him being a poor orphan who was abandoned by his parents. On this path, he experienced many rejections and many difficulties. But he never gave up. He kept working hard with all his heart and soul and kept on working until he turned his dream into reality. So self-discipline is the biggest plus point of an athlete. But if that person does not know why he is doing this, then self-discipline has no meaning. So he kept working with all his heart and soul and finally became a professional basketball player, and showed it not only because of his hard work but also because of the driving force behind it. Which was his purpose. That is, every journey starts with a cue. You should know exactly why you want to develop a self-discipline cue. Without this, it will be very difficult for you to stay committed to your goal. Knowing your purpose or cue or why will help us to stay committed. This will help you to face any difficulty in getting up in the morning. In this chapter, some very effective ways have been described to discover your cue or why. The first is to visualize yourself in the way you want to become. What do you need to know to discover the why or why? If you have a clear idea of what you want, then it is best to visualize the kind of person you want to become, which will shift your focus towards becoming better. For example, let's say you want to lose weight. To get clear on what you want, we need to know how much weight you want to lose and in how much time. Imagine doing the things you dream of doing and proceed from there. Think of a specific time and place to visualize. Make it a habit to achieve better results. While visualizing, you should sit in a comfortable position. Try to visualize your goals as real as possible. Even if it hasn't happened yet, make it your reality. Knowing what you want. You can also discover that after knowing why you want this, you also need to know the reason behind it. For example, S wanted to become a professional basketball player. His why was to prove his worth and value to people. And his reason was that he is just an orphan trying to find his place in the world. So what is your why? That is, your why is very important, but it is also important to know its reason. Now many people know their why, but it is not at all enough to push towards their discipline and find opportunities. Even now many people are holding on to old habits because they have not built a solid foundation. It is very important for you to know what do you want your why for. This is the reason that helps you to change yourself. To understand this, you can make two lists. In the first list, you will write all your goals or reasons for discipline and confidence. You can also write down all the positive effects or benefits of having discipline. In the second list, write down the negative effects of not having self-discipline. Make a list of all the possible things that can happen if you don't take action. By analyzing this list, you will be able to understand the real reason why you want what you want. It is important to know your why because it will give you a clear understanding of your goals and plans. Knowing your why will make you easy with full dedication and will also help you get rid of your excuses. So this is what we talked about finding your why. That is, about finding your why, and now the next chapter says stop your excuses, stop making excuses. So the thing is that one of our oldest habits is procrastination, which we call procrastination. It always stops us from becoming a better person and keeps us entangled in things that do not help us grow. By removing the excuses you make your life easier. Here are some examples of excuses that you have to let go of. Stop waiting for the right time. Some people say that things should be done only when you feel like it. These are the same people who usually decide on the basis of emotions. But this is not the case with self-discipline. You have to stop waiting for the right time and taking your actions according to your emotions. Emotions keep changing and are very unpredictable. Trusting them means doing nothing. It will only lead us to the worst situation. So self-discipline goes beyond the limitations that we put on ourselves. It does not believe in perfect typing. It just focuses on what should be done. If you find yourself waiting for the right time, remind yourself of your why. Shifting your mindset from excuses to motivation will help you take action. You need to get rid of excuses before they overwhelm you. For example, you wake up at 6 a.m. to exercise, but you don't exercise, saying it's too early. The next day you wake up at 7 a.m. but you still don't exercise, saying it's too late. When you keep making excuses for yourself, you won't be able to do anything. So, it's best if you do what you have to do and stop making excuses for not doing it. Secondly, the most effective way to stop making excuses is to develop your own decision-making skills. This is what Charles Tehika, author of the popular book The Power of Habit, says, because the part of your brain that is responsible for habits is called the basal. There is ganglia. It is also responsible for storing information like reason, memory, emotions, and patterns. All these things together form our habits. So what exactly does this mean? In simple language, it means that just the ganglia make habits automatic. So every time you make your habits, you do not think about it again. You just do it. Like if you want to remove a habit from your routine, then you just have to practice taking decisions. You have to stop the old habits from becoming automatic and start building new patterns. By the way, removing your old habits will feel a little strange in the beginning. This is because your body has been following this pattern for many weeks, months, or years. That is why your brain finds it difficult to adjust, and it will not accept the changes quickly. It will resist the changes and pull you back to old habits. This can be the most challenging fight, and you have to start it knowing that you will win. Here, to understand it better, let us take another example. Every time you look in the mirror, you can see how much weight you have gained. That is why you decide to exercise and jog. So, on the first day you feel excited, and on the second day, you start losing your motivation and fall into your old worn-out habit, which is laziness. In this way, you give up from the second day itself and stop working out. So the thing is that exercising will not make you feel good because you are doing it against your daily routine. But if you do not let laziness dominate you, then with each passing day it will become easier for you. The second way to use mantras is a positive chant that you can say to yourself daily. Your mantra should include positive words about yourself and everything you want to achieve. What you say to yourself has a very deep effect on your brain. It will affect your way of thinking and guide you in the right direction. As we just gave an example of exercising daily. One reason for not exercising is that you keep saying negative words to yourself. You keep telling yourself that you are very lazy, or you hate working out, or this exercise will not help you at all. So making a mantra about self-discipline is the best solution to fight negativity. If you want to achieve a goal in life, then you must chant a mantra every day. You can tell yourself that you like to work out, or you can make a list of the benefits of exercise. You have to believe that whatever you can say to yourself is the biggest truth. By doing this you will be able to convince your body to exercise. Apart from chatting, you can write your mantra and keep it in front of your side table or mirror. You have to keep in mind that you see it daily and keep reminding yourself. In that way we learned why we should stop making excuses, and we also learned how it will happen. And now comes the time to take action, i.e., create an action plan. So here now you will plan whatever steps you are going to take for your actions. You can use free platforms, such as Microsoft Excel or Microsoft Word. If you like to be traditional, then you can also take pen paper. To make your action plan, you have to keep in mind that you should include columns like time, action, what problem can come in it, strategy to solve that problem, and progress status. Making your action plan in detail depends on you. But even the goals should be SMART, i.e. smart. Specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. SMART goals make the work doable, so that you do not run away from them but try to complete them as soon as possible. Self-discipline is all about consistency, and being consistent will be very difficult if you do not know what actions you have to take. Planning will help you to discipline the mind, and starting at a specific time daily will also create a routine for you. There are many difficulties in your journey of self-discipline. So to beat these things we need to plan. What will we do if something happens that we had not planned for? So we can try to predict or expect any possible problem and develop strategies to solve them. For example, you have to wake up at 5 a.m. tomorrow. But you know that you will probably turn off the alarm at 5 o'clock and go back to sleep. To prevent this from happening, you can ask someone at your home to be your accountability partner and ask them to wake you up at 5 o'clock. Now if you don't have anyone to help you, then try to keep your phone away from the bed. Don't keep it on the side so that you have to get down from the bed to turn off the alarm. You can try many strategies to solve your problem. Your aim here is to plan and fix all the potential issues. Next is to track your progress, analyze it, and if necessary adjust things. Review the results of your plan and actions you have taken in the past days. This will help you know if you have made any progress towards your goal. For example, if you wanted to lose 20 pounds by working out, you should know how often you need to check your weight so that you can see some changes. Staying actively engaged with your plans will help you improve your self-discipline and keep yourself motivated by the progress you are seeing. There will be times when you have to make a lot of changes in your action plan due to a mistake. But you have to remember that there is nothing wrong in failing. You will learn from failing, and this is what proves to be good for a beginner. For being a beginner, you have to appreciate yourself, not punish yourself. Whenever you fail, you have only two options. Either you give up, which is very easy, or you stand up and fight again. If you focus on your problem instead of the solution, you will definitely fail. Consistency is very important to develop self-discipline. Focus on your mistakes and try to understand what and why you did wrong. After that, motivate yourself to take action. Do not criticize yourself for making a mistake or talk negatively about yourself. Instead of blaming yourself, give yourself a chance to grow by learning from that mistake and motivate yourself to take action. Remind yourself of your why. That is, remind yourself of your why, the reason for which you started. Paint a big picture in your mind and remind yourself that you can do whatever you want. So now we know how to make action plans, how to act on them. And now comes the time to finally overcome temptations. That is, now that we know how to make action plans, we know how to deal with the distractions that come our way. You can think of it this way, that you started this journey because you knew that you did not have self-discipline. You know that you lack what is needed to be consistent and committed. So starting this journey is like going from self-discipline 0 to 100. It will be full of ups and downs. You must understand that you cannot learn self-discipline in a single day, it will happen gradually. When you face difficulties in achieving your goal, here are some strategies to overcome them. First of all, keep a distance from those things that attract you. You know yourself better than others. Well, you know exactly what makes you happy and what makes you sad. You also know your old habits, distractions, and the things that excite you. So the thing is that if you know what can bring you down, then you must avoid them at all costs. No? Now let us understand this with this example. If you like smoking, then you should avoid your smoking buddies. It will be best until you can develop the control of not smoking. If you throw away all the cigarette packets and anything that reminds you of smoking. What they say is out of sight, out of mind. That fits perfectly here. The second example is you have to study for your final exams. Now here you also know that instead of studying, you like watching series on Netflix, so the solution is to unsubscribe from Netflix and avoid anything that tempts you to watch movies. Avoiding your temptations is very challenging. It is difficult. That is why the second strategy is to visualize registering yourself from distraction. Whatever you fill in your mind will impact your mindset. So asking your mind to register the temptation and visualizing it will tell your brain that temptation should not be accepted at any cost. For example, you want to avoid eating too much chocolate, so that tasty chocolate kept in your fridge, oh my. While looking at it, imagine that you saw it, but instead of eating it, you close the door of the fridge. So keep visualizing avoiding temptation until you become confident that you can do whatever you want. The more confident you become, the more self-discipline you will have. Next is to compare instant gratification with long-term results. Instant gratification means instant satisfaction. Now most of the time we give up in the greed of getting instant satisfaction. You have often seen that we know that if we eat chocolate, we will feel very good, and we also know that checking social media from time to time increases our dopamine. This is the hormone that makes us feel good. All our temptations make us feel good, but if we remind ourselves that this attraction is only for some time and not for the long term, then the chances of getting rid of them will be higher. So the second way to avoid instant determination is to think about the worst situation. Now let us take the example of smoking. We all know that regular smoking causes severe long-term cancer. Now visualize it as if it has come true. Think about how much money you will have to spend on medicines. Think about the dreams you want to achieve. Whenever you feel tempted, think about your biggest fear and see it happening in reality. Lastly, try to distract yourself. Turn off the notifications about your timings and focus on other important things. Keep your mind busy in exercising, reading, or doing any work. Distract yourself until you get rid of the timings. And with this, we have reached the conclusion of this summary. It is time to revise once again and remember what we have remembered. Which actions to take, what planning to do, how to do it. Which paths should we follow if we face a problem. So the point is, this summary has taught you a lot of effective ways to develop self-discipline. It showed you that self-discipline starts with knowing your why. Creating a solid foundation gives you a better chance of achieving your goals. You also learned that self-discipline is hindered when you make excuses. Relying on your emotions will keep you from getting anything done. So do what you need to do and stop complaining. This summary also taught you how to create effective action plans that will help you improve. Creating an action plan makes you more consistent and responsible, and finally you learned that temptations are everywhere. Now you know how to deal with potential problems and fix them. If you do not improve yourself and do not keep them consistent, then these practices will not work. This summary has taught you the way how you can win in life? No, but if you do not take action, then it will not be possible, because we all know that it is very difficult to change. Building self-discipline is challenging. In this process, you can make many mistakes. You can fail, but failure cannot harm you until you do not give up. If you keep the spirit to fight, to stand up again after falling, and keep encouraging yourself, then success will come to you by itself. When you become successful, no one will even remember your mistake. No, so after listening to this summary, you have already taken your first step, so without wasting time, start achieving your dreams. Be consistent, be disciplined, and you will become what you always wanted to be.